How to change the default stock length in PractiCAD. PractiCAD gives you the ability to change the default stock length for rectangular, round, and oval duct at any point in time. You will notice that when I go to grab a radius elbow and I route it on the drawing currently, the PractiCAD is dropping full joint rectangular fittings behind the elbow. If you zoom in and look at the length, you can see that each joint is 56 inches long. However, it's coming from a stock length that's 60 inches long. Because we have TDC or TDF, we're losing 2 inches on each side. But the default stock length the routing methods are following are 60 inches for rectangular duct. This number can be adjusted at any time. To adjust that number, you need to go into your library icon on your PractiCAD ribbon. Here, if you go into your Ductwork options, which can be activated by clicking on the word Ductwork, you go over to Ductline Routing, and here you can see we have Use Default Stock Length checked. 99% of the time, this button is always checked. Notice here we've got values for rectangular. Ours is currently set at 60 inches, which is why we're getting default stock length at 60 inches. We have it for round. Right now it's set for 10 foot. And oval as well. If we would like PractiCAD to route duct using a 48-inch default stock length, all we need to do is change the value here, hit the save key, and exit out of the Ductline Routing options. Now if we go to grab the same fitting and go to route duct using up, exact, or smart, you'll notice that we're getting 44 inches or 48-inch default stock length minus the 2 inches on each side for the TDC. This concludes the tutorial on changing the default stock length. Along with default stock length, PractiCAD gives you the ability to control the minimum length of duct that you can draw while routing. For example, we're going to go into the library icon and click on it. It's in your PractiCAD ribbon toolbar. Here we're going to go into the Ductline Routing options, which are listed underneath the Ductwork options. We're going to go to Use Minimal Leftover. Currently we have all the values for rectangular, round, and oval set at 0, which means we can have any size duct we want. However, if we set a minimal leftover and we go to route and we need a piece smaller than what we said we can use as a minimum, PractiCAD will not route that duct. For example, if I didn't want to make a piece shorter than 12 inches, I could set minimal leftover to 12. We're going to hit save. Then we're going to exit out of the Ductline Routing options and the library. And now we're going to grab a radius elbow. And we're going to zoom into the drawing. And we're going to use the exact routing method. I'm going to hit E for exact. Notice that it's instantly jumps past 12 inches. I'm not able to route the duct with anything smaller, even though I've got it on exact. I should be able to do it, but I can't because I've got a minimal leftover. The second I go to shrink the duct, you can see right when it hits 12 inches, it closes up. It's about right here. So it opens up to 12 and it closes. So minimal leftover will prevent you from putting pieces of duct on a drawing that are too small. If you'd like to change the settings back, just go into the library icon. In addition to Ductline Routing options for default stock length, PractiCAD has a feature that also allows you to choose the minimal length of duct when you're routing. For example, we're going to grab a radius elbow and we're going to put it on the drawing. We're going to route using the method exact. We're going to type in E spacebar for exact. Notice that currently PractiCAD is letting me put virtually any size piece of duct before this elbow, all the way down to 0. That's because the minimal length we've got set in our options happens to be 0. However, if we wanted to set it so that we could not route duct with a fitting shorter than a specific length, we can do so in our routing options. To activate these minimal leftovers, we're going to go into the library icon in your PractiCAD ribbon. And we're going to go into the Ductwork options by clicking on the Ductwork word itself. The Ductwork option should appear. And we're going to go right here to use minimal leftover. Notice that the values currently are 0, 0, and 0. If we knew we didn't want to be able to draw a piece of duct shorter than 12 inches, we could say the minimal leftover will be 12. Now we're going to hit the save key and exit out of the library. We're going to go to the fitting box and grab the same radius elbow as before, and this time we're going to put it on the drawing, and we're going to route using exact again. Notice that PractiCAD will not let me put a piece of duct shorter than 12. About right here when we move to the left, it locks it close to 0. So we can't do anything less than 12. So this is a way of preventing yourself from putting a piece of duct on the drawing that's too small. Often you might want to say that the minimal leftover will be 6 inches, and then once you see that PractiCAD won't fill in the gap because it won't put a 6-inch piece, we would switch it to Smart Route, or M, where it would extend the straights of the elbow for us. So this is a good method for using minimal leftover.